Industry is ramping up and we are testing our boundaries. Promises have been broken, but it's okay. It's not the worst thing anyone's ever done. Welcome back to the Trading Desk. My name is Ebube and this is the Popcorn for Dinner podcast. Here on the Trading Desk, we delve deeper into the nuances of HBO's industry as a follow-up to the more immediate coverage done by Bankole and Ayo that drops right here on the Popcorn for Dinner feed every Sunday night right after the episodes air. We are also going to be previewing the next episodes and, well, we have a lot to do this week because the next episode for this particular week seems to be building up on a lot of trauma, for lack of a better term. Today, we are on a field trip, a series of them, actually. We're starting investment ventures in our hotel rooms, gallivanting to Sunderland for whatever reason, that's timely, and exploring the vestiges of the people who funded a certain World War II movement. More on that later, I suppose. We have a lot to do today, so I'm going to jump right in and bring AJ out because she's the greatest. AJ, how are we doing?
Oh, I'm shy. I'm good. I'm good. I feel smarter than Yaz.
Oh,
So
that's
I'm
because
good.
you are.
I am.
I will also say we have a special guest with us again today. We have Ore, who you will probably remember from our preview episode for Industry Season 4. We three have quite a lot of thoughts on episode 3, but more importantly, we have a lot on where the things that happened in episode 3, how they built on episodes 1 and 2, will be taking us into episode 4, because I guess Mickey and Conrad don't quit, do they?
They don't.
No. And
So-
we're happy for it. I think we're better for it.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I mean, this is great. I mean, I know they've just been like twiddling their thumbs this whole time, just like, ha ha ha, ha, we can't wait. Because like, I mean, they were talking about like the, like this season, even as early as last year, they were kind of hinting at this idea that it's going to be unhinged. And that definitely delivers here. Like in this specific episode, there is a lot going on. I feel like where I want to, or at least where I'm looking now, right at the beginning of our discussion, is this idea of what's going to happen with Tender now that Harper has discovered what she's discovered. Because obviously there's the whole Tender aspect, but then there's the relationship with Yasmin of it all. And the fact
Yeah.
that somehow the universe just wants these people to be in conflict. It's like no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Like I can already
The
hear
endgame.
it. Like, I mean, are we gonna have another slapping fight? You know, like is it gonna be like, yo, why is it that you can't just let me be? Why are you trying to short this thing that like is supposed to give me relevance? And of course, Yasmin's relevance is something we will definitely be discussing because she is discussing it, she's looking for it, and I'm not sure she's found it, and she's making it everyone else's problem. So,
Yeah.
who wants to go first?
All right, you can go. It feels like you have a lot to say.
It's
Oh
thrown in
wow,
your
just
face.
put me on the spot. I think the first thing I would say is I kind of felt I was offended when you said you're smarter than Yasmin. That's my girl.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
like I just felt like, okay, wow, I'm walking into the lion's den, walking to two people that already hate my girl.
You,
So
you
I
can't,
don't
you,
hate.
we don't hate her. We don't hate.
We
Well,
don't
wait,
hate
you
her.
you came here to fight Yasmin's battles? Is that that was your
You
that's
know,
not your
isn't
agenda?
that
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Then you're at the wrong place.
Yeah,
Because we don't hate her, but we don't support her. That's the thing. It's like, oh, you know, you have to love women. I love Yasmin, but I'm like,
Yeah.
she needs to know that she's not smart. You know, just accept it. Like, just sit back. Like, don't talk in the
As
room.
Tyler
Just be
Lannister once
pretty.
told Cersei, it's like, I don't mistrust you because you're a woman. I mistrust you because you're not as smart as you think you are. Yasmin
Mhm.
has sense, but not as much as she purports
She
in
thinks,
the way that she
Yeah.
moves in the world. She carries herself with a
Mm.
lot of obliviousness that is directly related to her privilege and entitlement. It's one of those things where
Mhm.
somebody is acting with a lot more authority than they should because they believe they have that authority because they believe that authority is owed to them. I mean, you can see
Yeah.
it in her face throughout episode 3, right? One thing that really struck me was the moment after Haley confides in her in the office and she's like, yeah, you can take a break in Vienna. And she's like, actually, that's not
from
for you to
you.
tell me. And Yasmin, you
Yeah.
could see it on her
Yeah.
face where she's like, yo, I can't even command the executive assistant.
Do you think that influenced her decision to include Haley in the mock cock scene? That's the lovely
That's what the
threesome
internet's
that
calling it. Yes.
yeah.
Yes, I do think that, because Yasmin has a tendency to try to assert herself in the bedroom when she's feeling powerless. She's literally
Yeah.
been doing it since season 1. Every single
Yeah.
time somebody was, I guess, bearing down on her, whether it was the office, whether it was issues with her father, whether it was Kenny when they were still at the desk,
Yeah.
she would then go over to Robert and basically start tormenting his life with
Yeah.
Yes.
with just dangling herself in front of him just because she
Yeah.
could, as if she needed to remind herself that, okay, at least when it comes to beauty, I am number one. And
Exactly.
unfortunately, someone like Robert, you know, he had a lot to learn at that time. So he was indulging her. And as Yasmin
Yeah.
moves more in the world, as she gets older, as she matures, as she, you know, is married now, she's starting to see that there's some things that you can't just, you know, wave away because of the fact that you're an attractive woman. Like, there's literally a guy in this episode asking her, what are you doing here? So,
and the thing also with Yaz is that if this were any, like, we know Harper knows she's attractive, and Harper embodies her femininity in a way most women do. But I feel for Yaz, she
uses it as a
tries to
crutch.
force it.
Yeah.
She tries to use it as an avenue for power because she feels like she's lacking power in her profession, in her personal life. So it's like, okay, I don't have power here, so I'm going to large scale this other aspect through which I can dominate. And I feel you don't have to do that. She doesn't have to do that. And I feel that's what upsets me, because I'm like, just as you are beautiful, babe, you're a wife, you kill it in the home. Find peace in that. And I'm not saying that's where she should be just because she's good at it, but I feel the way through which she's finding other avenues for power throws me off, because I'm like, bro, you don't have to do this to Haley. And Haley, she has her issues, and like,
Oh.
she has her problems, and Henry as well, but she knows Henry just got out of this whole thing with addiction, and have the way he literally said, you're enabling me with sex.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was proud of him in this episode.
Yeah. I'm like, oh,
I've
you've
never
been
seen this
listening
guy
in
stand up for
therapy.
himself like this before. Like, he's
Yeah.
self-aware. He's defending the Fourth Estate. Henry Muck cares about journalism. I'm like, wow.
I actually wanted to talk about Henry for a little bit because, and we'll get back to Yasmin and how she is carrying herself, at least for the past 3 seasons. But I've been seeing a lot of conversations about how, oh, Henry is just this hollow character and he is a shell of himself and he is not that smart. And I actually feel like, especially episode 3, I think he's such a good job. He does such a good job at being a CEO. Like that whole, like, he understands his
He's done it before,
function, right?
right?
He understands
Yeah.
he understands what he has to do. Like, I'm actually quite impressed that within a month of committing to being the CEO of Tender, he's then gone to like really galvanizing and fighting for this thing, bearing in mind that, oh, okay, like for him to take himself out of that pit where he was, like where we saw him in episode 2, and then bringing himself back, yes, with the help of Yasmin, yes, Yasmin, you're tied to my purpose and everything, but still finding and locking, like he is literally the embodiment of locking in, and I think we need to give him some credit there. Like him just, like, I was really I think I was most impressed when he was in the would it be the Grand Inquisitor room, like where he had Lisa Dern and Bevan and Ricky Martin with a Y came in. And he was really talking his shit, and I think it was just really interesting how you see him stepping into that function, and I think it's worth I think it's like, if we're going to talk about what the industry has been for the past 3 episodes and what that is, how that is shaping these characters, I think Henry will be a good place to start.
I agree. Yeah. Henry is interesting for industry because as the show expands and, tries to, build out a world beyond Pierpoint, which it definitely is succeeding at, it needs people like that because the people that we know so far, as they try to expand their own lives, they need access. And knowing Henry Muck is basically the definition of access. So it's very interesting that everyone has found a way to kind of be connected to him somehow. First it was Robert, Yasmin is now married to him, Harper has been connected to him peripherally, and now, it's going to be a bit more of a crash with this whole thing that's going on with, what she's discovered and what Tender is doing. And the fact that Henry doesn't necessarily know what he's walking into here because, Whitney is kind of a wolf in sheep's clothing at this point. So I feel like it's good to see him cautious. Like he's not trying to let his mistakes catch up to him, especially when it comes to Lumi. But Whitney clearly wanted somebody who was very pliable, and Henry, being in the state that he was in, made him sort of susceptible to being kind of manipulated in a sense. And Yasmin, who should be protecting him, is not. And that's kind of the issue. So I wonder if he's on a path to withering and crumbling. I mean, he does say in the next episode at some point that he doesn't know if he has it in him to be broken again, right? So how are we going to deal with that? Especially now that they, Yasmin has allowed Moritz to have a little bit of a foothold in, the media. And that's an interesting choice from Alexander Norton as well. But I guess he's doing it because he would do anything to help Henry, and he does love Yasmin as well. So interesting dynamics there.
Sidebar, I listened to the previous episode and I just wanted to say that, Ebube, I think you do a really good Whitney impression. I don't think the rest of the other co-hosts, the other people, the other co-hosts, so AJ and the other guests, I don't think they caught it. And you did it twice, and no one actually mentioned it. And I was actually like, oh, like he's throwing it out there.
I appreciate you. I actually appreciate you for that.
Yeah, and I wanted you to do it again this episode just for my own
thank you very much.
entertainment.
I thought it throws me off. That's why I don't say anything, because I'm like, okay, do you, bro? But like,
it's so funny. There's at least one person actually in my life who heard that episode and was like, that was a jump scare. Like, you did that well.
No, genuinely,
she's like, you did it well, so it was a jump scare.
Yeah, but also there was your coverage of Friends and Family where you did the intro and you sounded exactly like John Hamm. So I'm wondering if this is like a talent of yours, where you just know how to do really uncanny impressions. Because I remember texting Banky like, I thought it was AI. I thought you guys got like generated John Hamm. No, I was genuinely scared, and then I realized, oh, it's him. He is actually. So I think you actually do have a calling that you need to explore.
A calling to do things with my voice. Wow, you have no idea.
But now this is where we come back to Yasmin. I know that everyone's like, Yasmin is, I think she's stepping into the master manipulator person that she is, right? And I think this is coming off the back of the conversation that she had with her aunt last episode. I think it kind of contextualizes a lot of what is driving her, especially in this episode. So last episode, she had the conversation with her aunt about how what married life is like with Henry, especially someone in a place of power, and especially coming from her situation where she has lost, or she's nearly lost, all of her pedigree and everything. And her aunt told her that if you continue in the path that you're treading, like he will literally kill you, like he will subsume you, you will disappear. And I think everything that we've seen her do in this episode is an act of resistance. Because also remember at the end of the last episode rather, Henry literally did the baby ? And she looked at him like, what the fuck? And like, oh, this is... So I think this is her own way of fighting and resisting and stepping into her own purpose, I'll say.
Yeah.
She has operated life being defined, like being told that this is your function, like you're beautiful, you're privileged, this is how you operate, this is what you're used for. Especially looking at the relationship she had with her father, where he actually even explicitly told her that she is nothing, like, and she was groomed and he used her. The relationship is still something that we, the audience, are having to reckon with and unpack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably because she's
unfortunately
not
for
ready to
us.
unpack it fully.
Yeah. And so I think in this instance now in season 4, Yasmin is fight. I think if anything, she is, again, not to sound like I'm on a Yasmin soapbox or anything, but I think she is the one that's at least explicitly fighting for her own purpose. Like every other person, every other main character, I think, has understood what their function is. And I think we can't like blame the girl for whenever you wake up is your morning, as they say in Nigeria. And I think she is finally, and I think she's finally waking up, and she is like I think it's the most interesting case where you see someone making a 180, and it's really great to see. And I think a lot of people are starting to what's the word, relate or find ways to relate to Yasmin in more ways than they expected.
I
AJ, any thoughts?
I feel it's not a 180. Baby girl is doubling down.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I feel
Okay.
my thing is the way you said she's finally finding her purpose, but what is it? Like, what is the purpose? What do you
Yeah.
think she wants other than power? And how? Because obviously it's not
For the sake of it's power, for the sake of power, by the way. It's not like she's trying to change the world
it's not
necessarily.
like, because like Harper, like she said, this is live or die. Or what did she say for me?
Life
Harper
or
is
death.
true to life or death, live or die, or what? But Harper is Harper is true to this. She literally says, I do this because I enjoy it.
I'm
Like,
good
this
at it.
is
Yeah.
me, true and true. But we have Yaz just in boardrooms. Oh, because I'm married to the guy, I can speak. But it's like, what are you saying? And is it making sense? Or do you just want to speak for the sake of, I can speak in this room? And then if we're like, oh, the only thing I've seen or I would commend Yaz for in terms of, okay, you're a bit different, is that she actually loves Henry. Her relationship with Henry, although there's like some form of selfishness to it, I feel like she's now being selfish only because of that conversation with her aunt. She's trying to like, find her own way in that relationship, but there's love for her and love from her like towards Henry. But still, down to it, it's still like very selfish of her to be like, okay, you know what? I don't feel too powerful when we're talking about this company. But in the bedroom, I'm going to dominate. I'm going to make you do things you actually don't want to do. So I love you, but it's like, I need to feel powerful in this moment. I need to feel like I'm in control. I need
And
to
that's
feel
so
like I'm
interesting.
driving the car.
Because it reinforces the narrative. Like the narrative that she's just, a beauty. Right? Because it's
That's
like,
what I'm
why is that the
saying.
only place you are trying to
Why
exert
do you
power?
feel you can only get power through
Yeah.
weaponizing your sexuality? Like, you don't have to. And that's what I don't like about Yasmin as a woman. And I feel like she, earlier in episode 1 and episode 2, just seeing her, although like the estates, they're not really accepting her as like, the boss, the Oga's wife. They're not accepting her. But like, she was there and she was unhappy, but it's like she was functioning. And to function is okay. Not everyone has a glorious purpose. That's my point of view. But I feel for years, she's forcing it and forcing it. And the way through it she's forcing it is being her sexuality, her femininity. It throws me off. I'm like, babes, I love you. You're pretty. You're a wonderful wife. But why do we have to do this? And why are you doing it to Henry that he's in recovery? Like, come on now. And why are you doing it to Haley? Because you obviously, like, corporately, you're not meant to do that. That's the CEO, bro. and you're the CEO's wife, but you're kind of,
She-
and Haley
she's
too.
doing a
I'm not
lot,
saying she's doing
actually.
a lot that's
She's
stirring
doing a
me
lot to
up. So
Haley.
like,
And even to Henry, like, because we
I
talked
mean,
about what she was
given the
doing to Henry.
show, giving the show that we're on, I think we can also just appreciate that. Yes, okay, she's not I mean, her skill set might not be what the others have. I think she brings a unique perspective,
yeah,
which
she
is like
does.
social capital. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, she is managing optics. She is smoothing tension really well. She
Yeah,
knows how to control emotional temperature. She is understanding what people say before they say. She knows how to work
She
people.
speaks 7
And
the
different
soft
languages.
skills,
yeah,
people skills.
and that is literally what these situations require. And I think she's good at finding that. She's just also, I guess, I think at the end of season 3, we just know now that her skill set isn't in finance. It's something else. And
Yeah.
this is, I mean, let's all laugh at the girl that's putting herself out there creatively. I don't know if you guys know that reference.
Yeah.
But sorry, that was a joke. But I don't know, I guess it's just more of a question. I guess, like, is it less, are her skills less real than hard skills? Because it looks like that's where we're veering into. Or is it just less respected, even from an audience perspective, and also from in the show itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would also say, just even comparing like women on the show and seeing that guy's mom, I can't remember his name, the
Moritz.
Bowers. Yeah, exactly, Johanna.
Princess Johanna.
She was quiet. She was to herself, but she still made her way. Because she spoke to Yaz and she made her play, and Yaz actually did what she wanted.
Old money.
But she didn't have to be the loudest in the table. She didn't have to be like, okay, you're the one, I need to get my points across the table. They have to hear me. She was just calm. You could be a silent weapon. And I feel Yaz will
Brokering
excel as a
relationships.
silent weapon. Because she has the people skills, those soft skills that are essential. But it's like the audacity she uses to force those other skills she doesn't have. It's like, it throws me off because when she speaks, I saw this tweet that said when she speaks, people used to close their ear. It's true. Like, what do you say?
I saw a tweet that was like, every character in the industry that speaks with Yasmin has moments where they look at her like they can't believe this is a person that knows how to read.
That can read, yeah.
No, and that kills me because I'm just like, you guys, you know what? That's funny as fuck.
It's insane. Yeah, because there's not, because you have to think about the fact that she's this recognizable type, right? Like this overeducated person who might not be as smart as she presents, or believes that she's smarter than she is. She's ambitious, but like not in any particular direction. She's socially delightful, but only if you're nodding your head and agreeing. And you can actually see that with Yasmin. Once there's any kind of conflict, she's like, I don't know what to do now. And someone said that that's the product of basically international boarding schools, which is hilarious on several levels. But the thing is, with Haley, right? Haley, we don't know where she came from. She could have come from privilege as well. Like she could have a background where, you know, she kind of came up from the ground. But I doubt that on some level, because I think there's a way she carries herself that has like this idea of she knows what to do and where she is, but she also has an air of cluelessness about her, and is like but she's also willing to do whatever it takes to kind of climb the ladder, in a sense, which is why she ends up sort of in that room. But I have to say, like, on Yasmin's part, it's interesting that she would do all of that to Haley and to Henry after hearing that Haley may have been taken advantage of, right? So Yasmin has she has the potential to be, as you said, a silent weapon, but she wants to be the center of attention. Like, she wants to be more Harper than she is Yasmin, right? And I wonder, do you guys think Yasmin fancies herself a puppet master?
I think in the way that it reflects that she is not losing power, I think it's really important for her to not be, I think, coming off of the back of everything that she's gone through in the past 3 seasons, I think it's just really important to her that she is not being subsumed by by especially the men in her life.
Yeah.
You can see in the attender office when Henry's speaking with Bevan, and he's really making, like, he's going off of what the script that Yasmin has prepared, and she's smiling, like, look at him go, like,
It's
he's
like, I'm
doing
making an
exactly
impact
what
here.
I
Like,
yeah, look at him go, he's doing what I told him to do. And then compare that to the boardroom where that man,
I know you don't like him. I already know you
I
don't
didn't even
like
like him. I don't like him, but his question was valid.
I mean, yeah, like, we all had the same question, like, okay, wait, girl, in what capacity are you here? Like,
Yeah.
I had the same question, right? But you can see, like, she had that moment of panic, like, okay, like, is this going to be a problem? Is
She
he
wants to
going to be
prove
a
that she's
problem?
smart. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
obviously Henry co-signed and said, yeah, she's in a
She's
paid
a paid
consultant capacity.
consultant.
And when she went to introduce herself to Princess Johanna, she's like, I'm actually meant to be here, not because I'm his wife.
There's so many
but
moments where
because-
she's like trying to validate throughout the episode.
Yeah, so she is, I think she's just constantly, she's just trying to reaffirm that, or establish rather, not even reaffirm, but establish that she is meant to be here. Like, she is needed.
Yeah.
And not in the way that she has been told she's needed. Like, there's just a beautiful girl to in the room, or just a trophy wife, or just this sex object. She is, and it translates obviously in the room with Haley, and I just have to say that she's phenomenal. Marisa Bella is
Ooh, child.
phenomenal. Is
Yeah.
a phenomenal
As
smoker.
I said
First of all,
last week, this season she is acting.
no, she is, like, she's acting.
Girl, guess had
Like,
that Emmy.
I am literally making myself her Emmy campaign manager.
Mhm.
Like, I need everyone to get behind. Like,
Yeah.
it's incredible. I've always loved the way she spoke, but like that scene when she, I literally was like, okay, I'm going to buy a pack of cigarettes just because. I don't know, but I considered it like,
for the
You were
vibes.
influenced.
I literally, like, if there's anyone that would make smoking become a thing again, it's her.
I saw
That's
this thing
funny.
where it said, like, whatever school she went to for hand acting, because the way she moves her hand,
She does
Right.
gesture
Like,
very
I'm like-
precisely. And
She's
it's,
like-
Rather.
even actually talking about that scene in episode 2, right? Once she does that, like once she lifts her hand, he is like a cowering like
he
dog.
was so
Like,
tiny. Yeah.
That was such excellent work from the two of them. Like
Yeah.
I said last week that Kit Harington is very firmly post Game of Thrones, and it's beautiful to
he's
see.
cemented himself, like,
And
this is
and
no
you can
longer
tell, right?
Jon Snow.
And he doesn't,
This is
and
Kit
he wants to
Harington.
keep that, by the way, like, because I think HBO would love to do like a Jon Snow spin-off, and that is something that they explored. They've talked about it. Eventually, they said it's not going to be in development because they couldn't figure out what story was best to tell. But I know on some level they really want to do that, and he's just like, yeah, I'm not down for this. He's actually said that he's not trying to be anywhere near that character again. He doesn't want anything to do with it, and I feel like he loves his work,
love
but
that
he
for
wants
him.
to be known for more than that now. And as far as Yasmin is concerned, right, speaking of people who are trying to separate themselves from their past, do you think Yasmin is slightly afraid that she's not that different from her father? Because that's something I found myself looking at in this episode, especially in the way she treated Haley. There's a lack of sensitivity that
But this
came
isn't-
out of her, right
I
after
think she's
after she said that, okay, I've got your back, and then she goes on and then she just like uses her. I thought that was kind of interesting.
There might
because
be
that's a
an
very
element
Charles Nani
of
thing to do.
cognitive dissonance. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, like, I think just based on who her father was, he's a monster, and I think just someone who hurt her, I don't think she's trying to compare herself with the monster in her life, and she hasn't reached that level of healing or processing her trauma to start doing the comps. Like, okay, do I see myself? I don't think she's reached that level of healing or self-awareness.
But there was a different episode in season 3 or season 2. I can't remember, where she went to a different floor, so she wasn't in, what do they call it, the ball whatever. But she went to a different floor and she was working with this one lady, and this other girl got assaulted, and Yaz essentially goes, "Oh, are you sure that's what happened?" So she has
Yeah.
this whole
That scene with
thing.
Celeste. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, for her, she acknowledges like, okay, yeah, this is crazy.
That girl suffered.
But when it's with someone else, it's like, oh, I don't see that as the same thing my dad did, or I don't see me treating you less that's me treating you less as a human being, less of a human being. But it's like, that's the type of, she's a rich girl. She's everything is just like through her lens, me. But when it's like other people, she's like, oh no, of course, Haley, yeah, she wants to come for dinner, don't you, Haley? But it's like, why should she be there?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Henry has to kind of be like, no, keep your plans.
Keep your plans. And he's like, who did I marry? Part 1, part 2, part 3.
I don't know if it's our place to try to work out what her goal was, because it would be I think if we don't understand what her aim in that situation was with the Haley situation, it would be very easy to compare that with her father. And it's not like I'm trying to rationalize it. I'm not. It's obviously a very, very messed up situation. Like, obviously, power dynamics are there. And yes, Haley is not the perfect victim. Yeah, she's not innocent in this situation. But I think a lot can be said about Yasmin's reaction when Haley said she wants to do this and Henry let her. Like, Henry asked her and she just left them to and then she went to watch them, and you could see like this distaste, like she's irritated. And I think I've been thinking and trying to understand, like, why is she upset? Because she's visibly upset, and is it that she's mad at, and I know I don't know if Banky and Ayo mentioned this, that I think they were trying to figure this out as well. Like, was she upset? Was she mad at Henry? And I don't think she was mad at Henry per se. I think it might. Okay, I don't know. Again, I don't know. So I would just be curious to hear what you guys, because I think she was, I guess, mad at the situation, mad at that this is what she has to do to
feel powerful,
exert control. Yes, to feel powerful, to become the puppet master. And it's just like, yeah. So I guess there might be a level of regret, or just understand, reckoning with the game that she has to play, and also wondering, like, okay, where do we go for? I think she's playing a game, and I think it would be interesting to get to the bottom of it. I'm just curious to know I'm curious to see know how you guys interpreted that scene.
I still feel it's power. Because at first I'm like, dang, are you mad he's into it? But then at the end, what happened towards the end, I was like, oh, you're actually so crazy. Because she's like, oh, you have something that belongs to my husband. Let me show you who's actually in control. I'll let you do your thing for
the oyster transition. Incredible, by the way.
That was perfect.
It made me
like,
sick.
You do not understand how I loved it.
I'm almost mad at how cinematic that was.
No, that was perfect. That was perfect.
They're being so messy.
I literally stood up. I stood up from my couch to clap.
I'm screaming.
Like, brilliant.
No.
Brilliant.
No.
That is so wild. Like we said, right, unhinged writing. I do think on some level she was unhappy that he was enjoying himself at first. But the thing is, he wasn't. He wasn't enjoying himself all that much. I think he was
in pain.
Yeah, he was, well, as much pain as he could be in that moment, I suppose.
Exactly. Let's come back to niggas and shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Wow. Well, I mean,
yeah.
I mean, it's a whole thing of like, he probably was, he thought that it would make sense to kind of participate, but I think on some level he was uncomfortable. I'm glad that he stated that later. And then the way she kind of became uncomfortable with it herself in that immediate moment, I wonder if that, her continuing to go through with it was like, okay, I deserve this. Like, it's almost like, not even in a good way, more like in a I'm punishing myself type of way. And then it's like, okay, now I'm going to retaliate. It's interesting, all the like the emotional stuff that was going on there. And I'm curious to see how that builds up. I'm curious to see how things build up actually also emotionally for Harper, who apparently doesn't want to be friends. She's not trying to be friends with anybody. She's not trying to be friends with Eric. She's not trying to repair the relationship. She's just trying to make money because her trauma traumatizes her, which is fair.
Oh,
People
my
are always
Lord.
people are always talking about like, oh, you know, my trauma, you know, I learned from it. It's like, yeah, sure, you learned from it, but it also traumatized you. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
You know, so much is going on. You know, Sweet Pea is traumatized by Rishi.
Ooh.
Rishi, I feel like we're going to get a good amount of Rishi in episode 4. So let's just,
And I'm not
I'm
mad.
just going to state that for the preview now. I think because clearly people think he murdered his wife. And I always wondered how that whole thing played out. So I guess we're going to find out a little bit about that. Kwabena needs to come early to things and represent us well, by the way.
That he went to the prairie, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know if he got off on like insanity.
I mean, we'll have to see, right? Because Sweet Pea is clearly, she clearly knows something that we, the audience, do not yet. And I'm looking forward to exploring that. Harper herself was clearly very triggered. I know she doesn't like the word, but, you know, I actually thought in that moment, Harper really sabotages intimacy. Like, that's kind of her thing. It's like she does not allow people. You can actually see as Kwabena and Eric are getting close, she's actively like laying bricks to build a wall.
God, like
and running away from the wall. Like
the very first scene.
It's really interesting how she does that. Like that date was a weird environment for her. She clearly could not handle this idea of being on a date with somebody. She's looking for every excuse to go. And then
I could be working.
It's like, bro, yes, we know you could be working. You will later. Like, relax. I mean, this is by the way, gentlemen, don't go late to dates. But at the same time, right, I have to say, this trauma thing even extends in this Stern Tao sphere of influence to Kenny, because Eric is worried that he's traumatized about what happened between them. And, you know, Kenny obviously is in a different place now. I'm wondering how that relationship is going to go. I think it's cool that characters like Kenny can still come back in this show and have some kind of relevance, because it reminds us that, oh, the world is still there. Like, the world's expanding, but everybody that we know is still around. They're just doing something else, and it's just a matter of what are they doing, right? I hope that the whole first loss policy thing doesn't work out terribly for Eric. I feel like that's just a death flag waiting for his account. The first 10 million loss is going to be his 10 million, which is his only 10 million, his daughter's inheritance. I'm like, let's be guided. Let's actually be guided, because between, you know, the markets being weird, Jim Dyker's article, Tender definitely gearing up for a hard time in episode 4, and even the fact that Yasmin somehow has not realized that she is not white that's like a whole thing, because I just the fact that they're looking at her like, yo, your name is Hanani, how do you not see the attitude?
You look the way you
She's
look.
like, come on, it's not what that was.
I'm like, that's my thing. That's the thing with, like, it's the same thing.
She's so privileged. She's insulated from knowing how things are affecting her.
The intersections are crazy. It's the same thing that happens with men, black men. You're black, cool, but you're a man. But because you're a man, you feel like in certain spaces that privilege can make you raise your shoulder. But it's like, you're still black. So it's the same thing with Yaz. You're rich, show, but bro, you're very ethnic, and she doesn't realize. But let's leave Yaz. We've been talking about Yaz. The whole Harper and her trauma. I love complex black characters. I do. But my goodness, she is so complex. It throws me off.
If there's anyone in this show that needs therapy,
she's so complex. It throws me off. Should be like the title of my biography. I'm so sorry, because that was perfect.
Well done, AJ.
No, because how can you come? He comes late and he's just like joking, trying to kiki. She stands up, you know what? Da, 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 da. Next thing you know, oh, I slept with someone though. Next thing you know,
literally trying
but
to
you like me, right? Next thing you know what? I actually came here for a job. I guess our relationship is best via email. And I'm like, what just happened, bro?
Like he has barely talked, bro. Like,
he just wanted to kiki. Like, let's breathe, baby, breathe. Like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And then she goes home, and then she's talking to Eric, and he's like, everything was just like, let's even talk about Eric, because Eric feels so paternal towards Harper, but not his kids.
Mm.
And it's so like,
Wow.
what is
Do
going
you
on
think he's
here?
paternal to Harper? I think he's trying on both fronts. He says
To
it
his
like
kids?
he's trying. Yeah, like
I
tell
mean,
mom you had a good time is an effort.
that's too
I
little,
think.
too late, I suppose.
That's
But
way
Yeah.
too late. Because I feel
Even
like,
going, yeah, sorry.
oh, because I was saying that I feel like he doesn't know how to be a dad. Well, he feels like he can be that father figure. Maybe not like, oh, okay, have you come? No, actually, he was doing that because he was forcing her to go out and have a good time because he's saying,
Mhm.
oh, I've been in this business for so long and then I've been just away from the business for a while. I know what it looks like when you have too much of one or the other. You should find a balance between the two. That's like an advice your dad could give you. And then at
Mhm.
the end, you see him trying to say, okay, I'm doing this, I've done this before, trust, let's build
He
something.
wants
And
to
she's like,
connect.
you know what? I can only be a partner to you because she has had trauma when it comes to relationships. I mean, we've seen the way she was with Rob because she clearly likes Rob, but she couldn't, be upfront about how she felt. And that kind of like caused that's why she has Han Yaz, they have that kind of like very unstable foundation with that friendship because that's how they started. Because she wanted to befriend Yaz because she felt Rob liked Yaz. It wasn't because she saw Yaz across the room. I was like, this girl is smart because clearly not. It was because, I want what she has because obviously Rob wants that. So it's like with Rob, we see her trying to ruin what could because I feel like Harper and Rob, they could have been endgame, but that's beside the point. We see her with Kwabena as well. Like, bro,
Kwabena
he just wants to
Bannerman.
laugh with you now. Like, let's laugh. Like, why?
Mhm.
Like, put your shoulders back. Let's leave. He said, don't try to combine church and state every single time, like separate. And then she was so triggered because she's like, how dare you tell me what is right? And I'm like, girl, like, your head is too hard. I'm tired. I'm actually so
Yeah,
tired.
it's crazy. It's crazy because she wants validation, but she does not want it from, personal relationships. She just wants to be powerful.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it's clearly not healthy. I'm wondering how that's going to affect her as the season progresses. I mean, as we kind of round up now, what do you guys think is next for Stern Tao? And,
Chaos.
I mean, with especially with Jim Dyker's article, like, I'm not even sure if that guy is going to be okay. I know he's going to talk to Whitney and Henry at some point. I don't know if he's actually genuinely, seriously planning to go to Accra. And I mean, he could be discovering certain things that put him under fire. I don't know if Whitney is capable necessarily of that kind of harm, but I think we would still. I mean, we're still in for some information on what happened to his previous assistant. But I mean, as Whitney would say, though, like, obviously the the they control the narrative. The conversation ends when it's supposed to, or when we say it does, right? So that's
Mhm.
the kind of thing that's the way he would assert it. So I'm wondering where, like how these storylines are going to collide in the next episode.
Same
I feel
actually.
Jim,
I think
Jim.
yeah. I think Eric just on the Stental front, it's just interesting seeing him unpack like straddle that whole wanting to be want to have his legacy significance and even so desperate for relevance that he's even ready to invest his legacy, that's his money, like his family's fund, into
His
this
daughter's future.
venture with yeah. And so it made me realize, like, it obviously asked me, I realized that the question here is like, is Eric building Stern Tao like just as a general as a venture with Harper, or is it more selfish? Is he building a monument for him
Mm.
to himself? Like, is this, I mean, at the beginning of the episode, we literally say Eric Tao back in business. I don't want to read too much into it, but it's I know someone's cooking here. I'm joking. So he didn't want. So is this like a monument to himself? Is it? Is them? Is it like the way in which Eric is showing or straddling the legacy significance, and then obviously through his function, like, okay, this is my money. This is what I'm able to do, and this is who I am. Yeah. I think it would just be interesting to see again more of Sentao and more of Eric. Now that he and Harper have reached a sort of agreement, like they have tried to set terms, like, okay, you can be vulnerable with me. This is what I'm going to take this more seriously, because I think essentially that was what Harper was mad about. Like, Harper, I think we've known from the get-go that Harper is someone like, everything is do or die for her. She doesn't have the privilege. She came in on merit. She came in without the with as an outsider, essentially, from the US, from not having gone to these prestigious schools like everyone else. So this is really important to her. And Eric used to be that person that understood her on that level. And obviously, while she was at Leviathan, like last season, she did not see that transformation or who Eric became, and just, I think he's also seen it all. So it'd just be interesting to see him come back to that capacity, or even a more evolved, more balanced approach.
Yeah.
I agree. Do you guys feel like Jim Diker is going to have an actual impact on the storyline? AJ, are you worried about him?
I'm worried, but I'm excited because I feel like he has a force. He has audacity.
But why do we think he's doing what he's doing?
That's my point. So I want to find out. I'm seated.
Does somebody have something on him? Like, why is he so invested in this?
Passionate about? Yeah, it's like
I think I'm also really, like, something piqued my interest when Harper asked him, like, are you short? I want to ask you a more personal question. Are you short on tender?
Did you lose money?
Yeah. And I think there's something has to be said. And I think he might have had like obviously I think he had a finance background. He's from the industry, right? So I think there's something really interesting about his MO and who this guy is, and why essentially, like, what is, like, was he the former assistant that what's it called?
That would be one weird twist.
Yeah, but I think he mentioned reaching out to the previous EA, so I don't think he is. But there's something very interesting. I don't want to use the word sinister, but very hot about how invested he is in this tender. Or, like he said, he could just be a guy that just really likes his job and wants to do good in the world.
Do good in the world. I mean, I
you
suppose.
should just be safe, because like
that's
he's
what
going
I'm
to
saying.
Accra. Nothing against, but like,
it would be nice to have an Accra episode,
right? Because also it pisses me off. Because why Africa, bro? Why are you doing nonsense through Africa? Come on, Whitney. We thought you were going there to do philanthropy or something. You're going there to scam. To scam. And look, Jeffrey, I don't even know how much they're paying him, but he does not even know how, like, the capacity of the work he's doing. He does not know how enormous, like, it is. He's just there, oh yeah, I just do, and then I give them these schools.
He's giving severance.
And they're like, he's giving severance.
It's actually giving severance. It's like, I don't know what these numbers mean. I'm just sorting them.
But I'm doing it, and they're giving me probably, like, like a little 60K. Yeah,
gorgeous Jeffrey.
Ask for more.
I mean, he's like maybe one of 10
like,
Jeffries.
Also, let's talk about how that breached a lot of. I feel like Tender is not doing a good job in terms of, like, employee training, because that's 101. Don't, like, okay, a bunch of ONS folk come to your house and you show them exactly what you're doing.
I was actually shocked by that. It's like, bro, he was walking them through everything.
He was
answering their question. She was like, show me the document.
he showed, like, I'm like, whoa, like what is,
I was
there
like,
was
wow,
no
this
onboarding.
is interesting.
There was no onboarding or
Because he
I guess they
doesn't
never
know what
expected
he's
anyone to find him.
doing.
And he doesn't know what he's doing
Yeah.
either. He doesn't like
Yeah,
he
there
has
was
no
no
idea that it'll be
onboarding.
anything bad. He's just like, oh, some random guys are paying me to look at some spreadsheets.
Literally, and I feel he loves numbers. Like, I feel he loves numbers so much because it's like, okay, cool, I will do it, but it's like, numbers, I work remotely, cool, but it's like, I don't know what these numbers actually mean. I just send it to them. And I'm like, Jeffrey, you should get arrested.
I would recommend that I know a few HR people that Tender could employ so that they could have a watertight what's it called? Information breach system. But that was crazy.
We'll have to see how it plays out because obviously at some point Whitney's going to find out that there's been a breach here. So that's going to be fun. And I wonder how that's going to affect Henry as well, because Henry is now the face of the company. So whatever nonsense happens, because it makes you wonder, right? In those initial episodes of the show, as the show is kind of resetting itself, it seems it's almost as though Bankole said it feels almost like those two episodes, 1 and 2, were kind of a prologue to episode 3, kind of starting officially now. And I did kind of say something similar as well, with this idea that now we have everything we need to move on and actually enjoy the season. So I'm wondering now, did Whitney, when you watch those first 2 episodes, it's like, why isn't Whitney just trying to be CEO himself? So clearly there's something that he doesn't want to take the fall for. And I'm hoping that Henry is able to escape whatever that is. But I guess we're just going to have to figure it out.
Well, he has Yasmin.
He has Yasmin, but she's not trying to protect him at the moment. She's too busy chasing her own. Well, I guess. He believes she's saving his life. So let's hope he's correct and that there's actually something for him there. Like there's actually a safe place for him in that relationship compared to the rest of the world. But yeah, I guess that's a good place to call it. Thank you both so much. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you all for listening up until this point. And thank you for listening to all the other stuff we're doing. This isn't our only industry podcast in the week, as you probably would have guessed by now. But we're also covering A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is the new Game of Thrones spin-off show, because I guess the world needs more Game of Thrones and more Targaryens. And there's a lot of activity that is coming in this weekend's episode. So I would say stay tuned for that and then keep it locked to us because we definitely have thoughts on what's happening so far. You can check out our episode on episode 2, which, well, was a lot of fun to record. The show is a lot of fun. We're looking forward to covering it more. And I guess till next time, keep your friends close and make some friends if you don't have any.
I'm screaming.
Bye for now.
Hey.